Hello again. Like all governments, that Keir Starmer has less money than it would like to have, and they are now on the prowl for extra funds. Starmer and Rachel Reeves, the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, have identified two chief categories of people in Britain whom they can exploit in this way. These are savers and pensioners. It is to be hoped that the fact that I fall into both of these categories will not prevent my being objective about all this. It took the incoming administration less than a month to start on old people, when Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced a couple of days ago that she was going to scrap the winter fuel allowance for 90% of old age pensioners. That's 10 million people. This is a truly delicious piece of hypocrisy. In the description to this video, I give a link to a tweet which Rachel Reeves made at 11:49 a.m. on August the 21st, 2022, a little under 2 years ago. She said, and I quote, you can check it for yourself, "I'll never forget a woman in Leeds West I spoke to who had purple fingers because her pension wasn't enough to pay for the heating. We must act now." Once she has actual power, though, Rachel Reeves, like so many MPs who move from the opposition benches to posts in government, have lost interest in those poor old age pensioners, and she's concerned now with only how much money she can cheat them out of. The fact is that, like so many younger people, Reeves has a terrible grudge against baby boomers and blames them for much of what is wrong with the world. They had such fun in the 60s and 70s. They could afford to buy houses when they were in their 20s. They polluted the planet without giving any thought to the global warming they were going to cause. What a selfish bunch they've been. It's only right that they pay back some of their ill-gotten gains now, and the money we can get from them can then be used to help young folk. This, although not explicitly spelt out, is the way that the government is currently thinking. They want retired people to sell the big houses they're living in and move into more modest accommodation, so that all those spare bedrooms can house asylum seekers, single mothers, and so on. If they're not causing blockages in the housing market, then old people are bed blocking on the national health, and that's costing us a fortune too. Many of them have also managed to save up some money over the years, and they're hanging on to their investments like grim death, instead of sharing all this money with the less fortunate. Having promised in their manifesto not to raise income tax or national insurance, the government are forced to look at things such as capital gains tax and inheritance tax, see if they can use them to generate a bit more income and pinch some of the old people's money as soon as they die or move their investments about. The decision to stop giving old people a couple of £100 once a year towards their electricity and gas bills is the opening shot in this war. Old people have usually worked for 50 years or so, paying in taxes and national insurance contributions for all that time. The winter fuel payment was simply a small way of recognising that these people might, after retirement, find it a little hard to get by sometimes. Cancelling it is a shot across their bows to let them know that they are vulnerable and in the government's crosshairs. Making the old age pension means tested will be a very good way of saving money, because the bill for those pensions now amounts to a sizable chunk of public spending, and it's just money thrown away, really. It's a matter of time before Labour decides to do the same thing there that they've just done with the fuel payments. What many people find infuriating is that those who have spent years on social security benefits and who now as pensioners are claiming extra benefits, known as pension credits, will not be affected by this. It's those people who have always worked and saved who will be losing first the winter fuel payment and eventually their old age pension. The government's target is the most vulnerable members of society, who are consequently the easiest to push around, bully and rob.